It's a completely new building. I don't remember the stairs being like this.
Right.
Fire guard was right in that corner. What? What? They changed it. This is my old basic training building, but they completely changed the configuration because there was a hallway down here. My room should have been about...
Oh, y'all had rooms?
Right. Yeah, this wasn't like this. It wasn't a big...
Open bay?
Yeah, because the hallway just went straight through and they were building... This would have been my room right here. Rosa, Compton, Morelli. Private Rosa spent the entire time looking through his, his military contract to find a loophole to get out every night. Yeah, my room would have been right here. This is, wow, you guys have completely, because I thought you guys were doing just, setting it up where like everybody had their own space, but no. This is, wow. Yeah. Joshua used to come in here and should he find the bed not made correctly, like the angles weren't right. As you can see here, this is exactly what happened. If you left your locker unlocked, this is what Joshua would do for you to fix it. So the room would have been right here. Oh, this is crazy. 17 years. Yep, all prepped up for that Colorado journey. I think this is probably my best front end taping job probably ever. Okay, it looks like that they burn stuff here. I don't know, a voodoo ceremony maybe. Hey everybody, this is Zoom 360 here on the go, currently at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. The reason why that I'm making this video, first of all, I'm not sure that if it's going to make it to YouTube, but if it's on the channel, well, here we go. I thought to make this video because Fort Leonard Wood is a very nostalgic place for me, and it's one of the key places that changed my life forever. And I thought that I would make this video because I'm probably not gonna be here anymore, or probably won't be for a few years. So I thought it would be fun to go back through time and look at stuff, and just to talk about certain things in certain places here that really changed my life. So a long time ago, on the 7th of March 2000, a very young Zoom 360 on the go joined the military, and it's been awesome ever since. At least for me, it's been overall great. But it all started right here, and I thought that I would just do like a little tour of like a memory lane sort of tour, and I chose to take you guys along for the ride. So all right, so back in those days, I was in Job Corps then, and then I was thinking, you know what, I don't want to go back to New York City. I kind of want to get out of that place and actually explore more, be on my own more, and do something. And I always wanted to serve this country with at least some part of my life. So I thought, hey, you know, let's do this. And from Job Corps, I chose to join the Army. So, and they sent me over here to Fort Leonard Wood for both basic and AIT. So, this is where my journey started. Back then, I didn't think I was going to make it through basic, but who knew that all these years later, and here I am, and it's all good. So let's go to the next stop. All right, guys, when I first got onto the fort, it was a long time ago. I don't remember, but I remember one of the first buildings I went into was this one. The welcome center, I guess you could say. And this is this building. Now the front of this building hasn't changed since. I don't think I can actually go in there and film, but this is where I was. This is where that we, they did the end processing and took our information and officially made us members of the United States Army. These barracks weren't there then. The barracks that we were in were behind that building. I'm gonna try to see if there's a way that I can maybe see the old ones, if they are still there. I'm not sure if they are, but where it is actually behind this building. I guess if I take this route I might get lost, but I'm gonna try to park behind that building and actually walk the walk that we used to walk from those barracks to the chow hall. And I know that I'm using quite a bit of lingo that only people who have served or currently serving will know, but we used to walk from the barracks or the dorms and walk to that building into the chow hall or the dining hall to eat. So I'm gonna try to see that if I can retrace my memory. Okay, so can you guys see me? Lighting, man, lighting. Okay, so now we are behind the building, Clark Hall, and we used to walk, not sure if you are from over there, behind there, and walk into the DFAC. So I'm gonna try to retrace myself, try to retrace my step. Now there's a good chance that they might kick me out of here because guy with a camera behind Clark Hall might make people nervous, but let's try to see what that we can retrace. All right, so here's the troop trail that we used to march from the dining facility down there. We used to walk up this trail, so I'm gonna try to see what kind of change. I mean, clearly there's a change because those buildings weren't there back then. But our barracks, we had to walk up here, and we walked for a little bit before that we can reach it. So I want to see if it's still there. I'm not even sure that if I'm allowed to be here, but hey, I only have a few days left. If I explain, what I'm doing here, if somebody want to catch a fit, that's on them, because I think I can afford it with my rank. So what's funny about it is that back then we were fresh in, no one taught us how to march. We just got in a formation and started going left, right, left, and we just winged it. Oh man. Okay, these bleachers definitely weren't there back then. So okay, now I don't remember this split clearly. Clearly it's not there because this is a road. I think this will be the road we took, and look like there are some older buildings back there. So I think maybe that's the original barracks that we stayed in, and if it's where I think it is, I think they probably got rid of all of them, if not most. But I'm gonna try to see where it's at from there, and I'll walk back and drive over there. This is so weird to just walk this trail, a memory lane of a very young Zoom 360. Was like, I want to see the world and do all kinds of stuff, and oh man, it's really something. Okay, now my memory is a little bit shady. Oh, look at the deer looking at me. Hey, buddy. My memory is faint. I don't remember. I mean, it's been a while. Oop, almost tripped. That would have been funny. I don't remember if this road was here, but this is definitely the area. Because I think, because these buildings weren't there. Those are new buildings, but I think we walked up these stairs, and I think this is the area where our barracks were. And it's exactly what I thought. So I'm gonna drive around, and I think most of those barracks were demolished where we were, but this is definitely the place. So I'm gonna hop back in the car and drive back around. But yeah, so we used to walk from over here and walk to the DFAC every morning. I think the first 7 days was in processing day, where you did medical, dental, sign some papers, get insurances, and all that good stuff. So that's what it feels funny walking this thing about 18 years after the fact. I think from my group that went through with me, I think I'm probably one of the few people who are still in service, I think. Now, you probably can't really see me. I apologize for the lighting because I'm losing it. We are currently, going through the golden hour. So, yeah. So, we walked all the way out here. From over here, walk down here, turn left, which is where we just walked up, down to the dining facility every morning for the first week or so. Man, memory lane is awesome. You know what though? There's one thing I have to say. These kids today, not sure if you can see them from over there, but they're doing formation. I got to say, these kids got it so much better than we do, because we didn't have these modern buildings. We had like World War II semi renovated buildings, and that's what we had. Okay, so now this definitely looks familiar. So this is where I was before. So we would walk down those stairs. Probably can't see it. Let me zoom in. You can see the very top, those two handles. Those are stairs that goes down into the street, and there's the newer buildings there. But coming from, we would march all the way up to here, and this area right here was where those buildings were. I think they stretch all the way out to where those buildings are right now, and those are probably like parts of them that are still here. But this is definitely an area where we were, right here. I don't remember exactly where the building was, but this is definitely the area here where we were. And man, the memories, man, the early wake-ups. Private Odom passed out. Man, if you see this video, I'm not sure if you remember, but because he was standing and he just passed out because he locked his knees for a while. But this is definitely the area right here. So we stayed here for about a week, and after a week we were shipped from that building. We got onto those trucks and we went to our unit. Now, we all didn't stick in one group because we had different different jobs that we chose. So everybody went to their respective units to begin their training and stuff like that. So we all left from Clark Hall, that building down there that I showed you before. So now let's go to my unit where I did basic training. I probably can't get too close, though I do have a footage that I can share where that I went inside the building, but I could just show it to you and a few other spots of that stuck to my mind. So let's go. Oh man, seeing this place is always a trip. So this is my my old unit building. It's still the same building, but it's not the same unit there. And I remember my first time coming here from the truck, and we went up there to put our gear up there, and then, you know, drill sergeant said, everybody out. And my drill sergeant, yes, I'm gonna drop names, drill sergeant Hodgkins was my drill sergeant, and she came out of this door running on that trail, and that trail follows around, and it goes you know, towards the front of the building, and I was right behind her. And man, trying to keep up with her was quite something. And yeah, but they've changed it since, because you know, because this big white part or off-white part, tan part, was not there then. Looks like there's some kind of like a solar you know, type of system installed. We didn't have that. And I remember on this grass right here, we did, you know, first aid, and it was awesome, man. This is crazy. So I'm gonna try to find a place to park and maybe go around and come back to the front where it was, you know, where we were. Yep, there it is, West 11th Street. This is where my unit building was and still is. You know, like I said, it's a different building now. I probably can't go in now. I remember this area, this shopette right here. We used to go and get haircuts, and the only other thing that, you know, we could get from it were can't remember the name right now, but there were mints, like, you know, cough drop, you know, kind of mints. And back then those were luxury items for us. They used to put us in that chair. I'm not sure if you can see the chair. That's the barber's chair. They used to put us on there, just cut everything off. Oh man, good times, man. And this is my building right there. This is the building that you know, we were in. There's been some changes, like those pull-up bars weren't there. Those you know, pull-up bars weren't there. This big pizza bubble was not there. But yep, and there's the dining facility right behind it. We used to go and eat, which was always interesting. I remember a very funny story where that drill sergeant caught a soldier taking stuff from the DFAC, because, you know, you're not allowed to take food out of there. You eat it there and you leave it there. And I remember when it was time for us to march back, no, that's the wrong story. The soldier that tried to steal some food, drill sergeant had him inside of the DFACs, standing at attention, screaming "honey bun." Yeah, because he tried to steal a honey bun, and drill sergeant had him screaming "honey bun, honey bun." Oh man. Now once the trucks stopped here and we walked off the truck with our gear in front of us, with our, you know, with our duffel bags in front of us, and we walked up this path here, and we actually laid our gear down there. And that's when we were first introduced to our drill sergeants in a very loud manner. My drills were Drill Sergeant Hodgkins, Robinson, and Drill Sergeant Caldwell, who recently retired. And yeah, I remember Drill Sergeant Robinson said, "Fix your bag," and then I fixed it. And then right after I fixed it, I said, "It's fixed, drill sergeant." And as soon as I said that, I said, and then he did exactly as I thought. He came back and said, "I didn't ask you." And yeah, and this was our home. It was my home for basic and AIT because after AIT I still had to stay here because it was a back-to-back, which I loved. There was no need to readapt to whomever. I stayed with the same people, which was good. I remember the first day that we started AIT on that area right there where you see where the dark ground is. We got smoked for like at least an hour there. Now smoking is just when your drill sergeants have you do a whole bunch of exercises back to back quickly just to get you to sweat and get tired. So it's called smoke because the intent is that, you know, like it's supposed to be so intense that smoke comes off, you know, smoke should start to come out of your body, I guess. But that's why they call it like that. But we got smoked there severely because I guess the reason that the reason why that they had us do that is because I guess that they wanted to remind us that, you know, don't think that you have arrived just because you're done with basic training. But I can't really, you know, walk out of the car and walk around going to the building right now because they are currently having a cycle and I'm not allowed to be there because I'm not a drill sergeant and stuff like that. So I can't take you guys out there like that. But I guess I could just, you know, quickly, you know, step out and show you guys quickly. Not sure if that's gonna make the vlog, but there you go. So this is the gym. You know, once that we were done with training, and this is where that, you know, once that we were done with our graduation, we came here, and that's when that my drill sergeants completely changed. Like they became cool people all of a sudden. There was no more screaming, none of that stuff. So yeah, so this is just to show you the area. I mean, not much has changed except for the tan part that you see here. That's on the buildings. This bubble didn't exist, and that black area was all grass, you know, back then. But it didn't. But this is the building where that Zoom 360 spent, what was it, 9 weeks of basic training and 4 weeks of training, you know, for my job. So yeah, so awesome. So now I'm gonna take you guys to Gammon Field. Just want to share some stories over there and probably tell you what, you know, why I thought that this would be a good thing to do, to go down, you know, this memory lane and stuff like that. Spin me around. I had no hair. Just you know, thinking about the chair, you know, the chair of the barber shop. That's where that this thing come from with the song, because I really think that, I mean, literally, you know, that's what happens, where that they just put you on the chair, spin you around, and you had no hair. We are at Gammon Field. This is a field where they do, you know, quite a bit of like you know, ceremonies. They do also use it for the 4th of July. If you go back and watch, you know, some of my videos for the 4th of July, that this is the area where they would have the big concert, and then they would have the fireworks directly over there. So this is where I've been. I wanted to talk about this area. This is the place where my platoon, 3rd Platoon, Black Knights, this is where we had our Rocky moment. I remember, you know, now it's, I mean, since I've been through basic training, that there's been a lot of changes, right? But back then, you know, there's red phase, blue phase, white phase, gold, and black phase. Now, I think white phase, prior to going into gold phase and black phase, it's like there's white phase PT tests, you know, physical training test to see how fit you are. And if you couldn't pass that phase PT test, you were held back, okay? Because you had one in red phase, you had one in blue phase, but white phase, you had to pass, because the point of the first two was to see where you were, and the point is that from the time that you started in red phase, that you should be already good enough to be able to pass, to be able to pass white phase. So third platoon was in trouble because a lot of us were injured. Not me, but a lot of us were injured. Now, when I first came into the Army, I wasn't physically fit. I mean, I didn't look like it, but I really wasn't. And I was worried about it. Third platoon was, we weren't sure, that we were gonna do well. And this is the field where we had our rocky moment, because we had a lot of injuries. I mean, we had a lot of soldiers with broken ankles, like broken knees or broken something. But every single body that morning woke up and we did the test and we all passed. I remember right over here, because my thing was, for the run, because, when we did the run, we did it here. And the starting lineup was down there. And we had to run all the way down there, come around, and then come back up, and then go down. Again, I don't recall how many rounds that we had to do, but we did enough to cover 2 miles. And I remember my plan was from here to down there, that since it's slanted going down, that I was gonna lean forward and just take gigantic leaps. And once I get down there, I would just get up here as fast as I could. And once I got up there, I would start to straddle faster. And once I turn in here and just take big strides. And I remember my battle buddy, Private Gray, was like, "Yeah, man, I saw you doing your thing, man. You were out there going at it." And I was like, I remember going down there like, and we all passed, and I did better than I thought I was going to do. So that moment, once I first, started, I mean, like I got crushed, I thought, because every bit of confidence that I had, coming from Job Corps got crushed here. And I thought I wasn't going to make it. And I never been in that place before. But at that PT test, that was the first time that I was like, you know what? I think it's going to be okay. I think that I'm actually going to survive this. Because I remember, preparing and doing a whole lot of push-ups and sit-ups and stuff like that to make sure that I could do enough to pass. And that morning, I don't know what it was, something in the air. Not only we all in the platoon passed, but we've exceeded a lot of our very own standards. And this is when I started to understand, certain concepts about that, if you work hard at it, it will come for you, things will happen for you. And this is when I've gotten my first glimpse of hope, when you work really hard. And this is the area right here, where that we did the PT test 18 years ago. Oh man, it looks a lot longer today. I'm sure it's still the same, but it looks a lot longer today. But yeah, and that experience stayed with me for the longest time. And it's crazy to be here today to look at this. And yeah, and there it is. This is Gammon Field, folks. So now there's one more place I wanted to show you guys about a very funny story that stuck with me. And I'm gonna drive over there now, and I'm gonna share the story. And this is probably gonna be it for me today. So yeah, so let's go to the next area. Hey guys, just one more thing. We are still at Gammon Field, but just one more thing about this road. I remember, you know, back then that, you know, we used to do runs on this road. We used to come out from 11th Street right there, from 11th Street, and we used to run up here. And, you know, back then it was, of course, much easier because I was much younger, much thinner. But I remember this one time when, and for some reason, I always would end up in the front, you know, because I would start off in the back because of my height, but I would end up in the front because the people in the back would, you know, fall out of the run. And it would always be me with Norman. And, you know, Norman would be right next to me or somewhere like within the first rank. So we were used to come down here, and Norman had no sense of his own speed. So, you know, Norman would speed off and leave the rest of the formation. And one time that pissed off Drill Sergeant Hodgkins, and she said, "You know what? You want to run? Take off." And she took off with Norman. And Norman was like, "Okay, let's go." And I took off too. And I remember it was me, Norman, and Drill Sergeant. At some point, we left the whole formation behind, and we came down here with like full speed all the way up to 11th Street, and then we slowed down for everybody to catch up. Those were the good days, the good old days. But yep. So I don't know, funny story that came to mind. Oh, so much history here for me. Hey everybody, it's me again. I'm shooting this on a different day because apparently when I was shooting I thought that I was recording, but apparently I wasn't because there was no footage from that. This is the last stop that I wanted to just share, is that right over here, back in 2000, a young Zoom 360. It's very windy out there, and I don't have my puffy mic with me, so I'm gonna try to be loud and stuff like that. So I apologize, you know, for the wind, but time is running out, so I have to do this now. So right over here, this building wasn't there, but right over here, two of our drill sergeants brought us out here with our M16s, and we were bench pressing them. and there was a plane flying up above, and I was looking at the plane, and then Drill Sergeant Hodgkins said, "What are you looking at?" And then Drill Sergeant Robinson said, "He's looking at the plane, wishing he was in it." So, and this all happened right here. This happened close to 18 years ago. So, one thing I'm gonna say about this video, though you guys probably can't see me now because the lighting, you probably could start to see me a little bit. So one reason, or I guess I could say the reason why that I decided to make this quick video about going back in time is that you should not neglect your past, because constantly go back into your past and analyze stuff and ask questions, because if you do that, you will find some answers and hope and courage for you to go through whatever it is that you are going through. Because a lot of you guys are probably going through some hard times now, but you've been through a lot of stuff before, and it's very easy for you to concentrate on what that you are going on what that's going on right now, and you think that there is no other hope, or like whatever it is that you're going through is just a lost cause, or you can't go through it, and stuff like that. So go back into your past and see where you succeeded, and that will give you proper perspective. So for Leonard Wood, it's been fun for the second time. So we are moving to Colorado. I'm excited about it. So is Lucille. Yes, I do name my cars. Go ahead and judge me. So go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe, and share. This is Zoom 360, encouraging you to get up, get out, and do it. Personal development through adventure, road trips, and fun. There's gonna be a whole lot of those coming where we're going. So I hope that you come on board with me in this next adventure location. So that's it for me. So I'll see you in the next video. Oh yeah. And I'm out.